I'm in the beginning stages of heart and liver failure, and integrating that into my life this year has been challenging. I'd be lying to you if I said that it wasn't very difficult. But in the experience of that itself, and the amount of self-reflection, the amount of counseling and work I've done with integrating it, has come with a very valuable lesson for me that I hope to impart onto you, something I hope can be helpful and serving to you. So, I guess I'll get right in with it by saying, back in the most successful times of my life, like the most fruitful experiences for me came when I finally got an understanding of the quote, "He who has a strong why can withstand any how." That was my anchor, man. That was my favorite. And a lot of success for me came from my ability to do so many undesirable, difficult things that I had to do um, in order to get to the goal out there. You know what I mean? Setting a goalpost, a vision for the future that was so alluring that it kept me striving and disciplined on the path towards it. But this, going to the doctors this year with my stress test, with my heart condition, and then kind of showing you oh, we're going down. Our trajectory is showing this is going where we know it's going to go. It kind of, it wasn't, it's super subtle, and you don't notice these things, and it takes a lot of the self-reflection or the counseling and self-awareness to really look at myself. A couple months later, I realized, man, something's not right. Something is not good. I am stagnating in a lot of ways. I realized I was less productive in subtle ways, and I guess I won't divulge too much because that's too idiosyncratic, too personal. You'd be like, shut up, I don't care. But essentially, I learned that I was living out the philosophy of live every day like it was your last, right? Or live like you were dying, to a version of it that was kind of corrupted or polluted, and wasn't necessarily helpful the way it wants to come across. I was truly living every day like it was my last, in that it didn't matter. There was no future to build towards. I don't want to look at the future. I want to stay stagnated right here where I feel safe, and don't talk to me about the future because that's scary. So then my vision, everything I was holding on to, became fuzzy. It became null and void. I put my hands up, and took like a cosmic loss here, saying, what does it matter? I'm just on my way to heart failure and liver failure. I don't really care about anything. And that sounds way more harsh than, it truly showed itself. I really obviously had great, strong relationships with my friends and my wife and my kids, and I was doing a lot productivity-wise to the outside world. But internally, I had resigned. I had given up a lot of ways, thinking, what does it matter? And not that all of that questioning and all of that wasn't for nothing. I did learn some valuable things in that too, like letting go of a lot of my ego and attachment to like a need for success. A lot of that was positive. But the negative aspect, the lesson for you guys, is that we do need to hold on to a little bit of delusional self-belief. I really believe that. I'm a writer, and I'm often talking to writers here in these videos, so take this with that analogy and that kind of way of thinking about it. For you to be a writer, to truly be like a successful career writer who makes it their living, that's 1,000,000 to 1 shot. I mean, that's the same odds as me outliving my diagnosis, or having a longer healthy life. Like, it is a big ask. But if you're going to make it happen, I think it's important to have that delusional self-belief of like, yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. That vision is going to stay clear for me out there so I can stay disciplined. Just like for me, I realized I needed to have that thing inside me that just forgot the odds, that didn't care too much about about what the doctors said, you know, forget all of that. They haven't met me, right? I'm gonna do more cardio. I'm gonna eat right. They're not gonna see it coming. I'm gonna outlive what they're gonna say I'm gonna live. I needed a little bit of that to allow for me to get up every morning as it's winter and go outside with the below freezing weather and go on a run. I don't want to do that. And if I really didn't believe in a future at all, I wouldn't. I would just sit here and be miserable. And that's not how I want to live. Just like you should want to be a writer. And we don't know what is going to happen on the other end. We don't know what the future is going to be. Of course, never. We won't know what it is. But we need to, I think, hold on to a vision, whether everybody around us says that's silly, that's dumb. Get a little more realistic. I say don't get more realistic. I say get more passionate about your vision. Get more sure that you're going to make it happen so that you can continue to take the right steps. So look, I think that's all I've got. I don't want to keep rambling. That's essentially the point, is that we can't be too afraid to look at the future, even if it doesn't look so bright, even if there are grim statistics, even if everybody says, look, there's no point. You've got to find the point, man. And you've got to believe, even delusionally. I think you got to be delusional to think I'm going to make a career in writing and I'm going to make it happen. I've got to be delusional to think that Veritas Entertainment is going to be able to make movies that actually compete. Well, who cares? I'm delusional then, and I want to do that. Because ultimately, how do I want my days spent, right? If this is going to end, which it is, how do I want to spend my time? I want to spend it writing. I want to spend it taking wild swings. I want to spend it believing I was chipping away at something, not moping around about how there is no point. All right, that's all, guys. Thank you, and also thank you to everybody who's been buying Fire in the Tall Grass lately. It's been getting a huge surge in sales, I think partially because of the Yukon Cornelius post I did that kind of blew up. Because Yukon Cornelius is just the man. I think we all agreed. I didn't know how much we all agreed. Got like 12,000 likes. So I guess there are a lot of Yukon Cornelius fans out there. And 12,000 likes for me is absurd. If I broke 100 ever, I was like, let's go. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. And thank you guys to those who supported Fire in the Tall Grass. If you haven't yet read it, go ahead, read it. It's my adventure novel in the vein of like the movie The Mummy or 1923 Indiana Jones. High adventure, very cool World War I pilot in the Congo. Check it out. All right, see ya.